Hello.
All right, I think we are live. I'm going to have some friends check out and see if we are. Actually, I'm going to log on to my Facebook too,
I'm
see if
on
we are
mine
live.
too.
Okay, we are technology. Sometimes you love technology. It looks like we lost Miss Arlie. Arlie, I'm not sure where you are, my friend. Um, but we are talking women's health tonight. So if you are here, we're so glad that you're here. I'm going to try to look at my Facebook just to see if we are on there. That is the goal. It says I'm live. Yay. So welcome in. I am going to be sharing with some dear friends. And sometimes, guys, this doesn't upload to Facebook until a little bit later for whatever reason. It might be on my business page. So this should be loaded to my personal page, my business page, Living Well for Life, and then also YouTube because I have a YouTube channel. But we're talking about women's health this evening. We're doing a every Monday series. So every Monday, you're going to find us on here. We are switching up the time because we know us ladies, we're busy, right? We live that full life. And that's what we're called to do. I know I wrote a section in a book and I talked about the many hats that we wear. How many of you can say you have on several hats right now? There's Miss Arlie. You are wearing multiple hats, and that's what we do. We get to juggle life, but we want to talk about how we are helping our body to heal, how we're reclaiming our health in the different seasons and stages of life that we're walking in. So I want to thank my friends for being on here. They have become friends and family and just partners. We love what we get to do together. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves real quick, and then we're going to get into sharing some slides, sharing some pictures, sharing some stories of hope, stories of struggle too, because if you're a female, you are going through seasons. It starts when you're born. We've got all these hormones that start, then we go through the stages of preteen, teen, up into our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Some of us, I consider myself probably the grandma of the group. I think I'm probably the oldest. My youngest keeps reminding me that I'm pretty close to 60, which I will take that, right? So I know me and Miss Arlie are close to the same age. So we're the 60s girls. Okay. All right, Arlie, I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Tell us where you live, and then we'll get into stories in just a few minutes. Tell us where you live and why you're excited about being here with us tonight.
Oh, thank you, Andrea. So my name is Arlie Jonathan, and I live in the beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And I'm 58 years old. And the reason why I'm excited to be here and tonight is because we have our hands on something that is like it's like youth in a cup. I don't know what you're saying. Today I was calling it hope in a bottle because my entire life has changed in the last 365 days. And I can't wait to share with you tonight exactly what's happened to me.
Oh, how fun. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, Miss Jenny, will you share who you are, where you live, why you're
Yep.
excited to be here with us tonight?
So
Go.
I'm Jenny. I live in Alberta, Canada. We're about to get a really bad snowstorm here, so I'm hunkering down. I have struggled being
Can
overweight
you hear
pretty much.
her?
You can hear me. Yeah. I've struggled pretty
Yep.
much being overweight my whole adult life. So I understand what it's like to like be over 100 pounds and like be trying to get rid of that. I also have had some pretty serious health challenges. I had rectal cancer about 5 years ago. And so I know what it's like to have gut issues too. Like that's kind of where it all started for me. And so my goal is to help people feel better, much like you guys, but to also understand, what gut health is about. So that's
Mm.
where I'm at.
Wow. Thank you, Jenny. So glad you're here. So we've
Thank
got
you.
two of our Canada girls here tonight, our Canadian girls. If I said that wrong. Super exciting. Okay, Miss Molly and Jennifer, we'll get to you. Miss Molly, share with us who you are, why you're excited about being here tonight. Go ahead.
My name is Molly Broad, and I'm from the Dayton, Ohio area. I'm excited to be here tonight because I don't think there's enough talk around what we ladies are going through, especially when you're in the postmenopausal stage of life. We're busy working moms. We are still possibly raising children. We might even be caring for our parents. And it's just it is a stage of life that has so many blessings in it. And yet it's becoming more and more challenging for us to come together and really focus on our own health so that we can then give even more to others. So I'm excited to really unpack just easy, simple solutions for all of us in this phase of life.
I love that. And you're so right. It's those hats that we carry. So yeah. And it can be a lot. So we're going to talk about all that. Jennifer, welcome in tonight, girlfriend. Will you share with us who you are, where you're coming in from, and why you're excited to be here with us?
Okay, well, I'm Jennifer. I am from South Florida, a little farther away from Canada than the rest of the ladies. I am a full-time caregiver for both of my parents who suffer from cognitive decline. I am a 51-year-old menopausal woman. I am excited to be here because one, ladies, I love learning with you, educating others, and just having your presence. Having, I guess what I'd say in my younger years, the girl power that we all are searching for throughout our life, and the community of women that we can be a part of. So that's where I'm at today.
I love that. Thank you, ladies, for being on. And guys, if you don't know me, I'm Andrea Martin, and we live in McCormick, South Carolina. It's a small community. Some would probably say it's a retirement community, and we wanted to move south to get rid of the cold. I think we brought it with us. It's been a little cold here, but we are warming up, and I'm excited to be here with these ladies because I've been through a lot of what each one of them have shared, from caring for parents to struggling with gut issues from the time that I was young. I was a preemie when I was born. So I think that just kind of sets you up. I've always been kind of that fighter. I was 3 pounds, 9 ounces when I was born, 3 months early. And you think about that almost 59 years ago, and I was kept alive for a reason. When there was no hope, there was hope. So that's what we hope to bring you tonight, is hope and just some insight, some wisdom of what we've gained. Because when women come together, and Jennifer, you mentioned the community, and we're a community. We're growing together. We're learning together. We're sharing. And that's why we're on here tonight. Literally, that's why we took our Monday evening to say, we want to speak some hope, some truth, some insight that we found to others. So if this resonates with you, contact one of us, reach out to us. We all have information to share. I'm going to share my screen real quick just so you guys can see. This is what we're battling. We have a major problem. 93% of all adults are metabolically unhealthy. And ladies, our bodies, and you know it, you feel it. And we've heard some of the signs tonight, some of the just issues that we deal with. But if we look at this, we can look at belly fat, skin tags, inflammation, high cholesterol, sleep apnea, high blood sugar, constant cravings. And all of those are connected. But then we've got even greater problems. Those are all our body speaking to us. It's those symptoms. But then we get the diagnosis of diabetes, type 2 diabetes, type 1 diabetes, cancer, PCOS, which I had, fatty liver, heart disease, high blood pressure, Alzheimer's, migraines, erectile dysfunction, neuropathy, obesity. All of these are diagnoses that come. And I want to encourage you, just because you get a diagnosis, it's not a life sentence. So there is hope. And you're going to hear that from our ladies tonight. There's hope. So I'm going to go ahead, before we go into this next slide, I want you to hear some stories of what these ladies have found. So Arlie, I'm going to let you go first, if you don't mind. I'm going to remove this so we can all be up here. Do you mind to share your story just a little bit about why you said yes, what you found as a woman? And I know you went through a lot with your pregnancies too. So share your story with us.
Absolutely. And then maybe you can put on my before and after at some point, because I really want people to see just where I came from and what I look like a year ago, because I want to describe also, this isn't just about weight loss. I want to talk to you about how I felt a year ago. Okay. I want to talk to you about how my life was, because I remember what it felt like. Okay. So my story very quickly. People call me a late bloomer. I didn't meet Mr. Sunny till the year I turned 42. We tied the knot a year later at the year I was 43. And then 2 weeks before our first anniversary, I gave birth to our daughter at the age of 44. And I was a gestational diabetic. Many women, it's not an age thing. It's more about how much your pancreas is tapped out with creating insulin for both you and your baby. And then, as God would have it, he wasn't finished showing off. So he showed up again, and I popped out my son 3 years later, the year I turned 47. Can you believe that? And here I am in the middle, folk. That's me. Okay. So once I gave birth to him, I always kind of joked that he was my last viable egg, because I pretty much went right into menopause. And so if you look at me in the middle there, 172 pounds. Okay. So not really, I'm only 5'3". Okay. I'm only a few inches taller than Andrea. And so, like, oh my gosh, extremely exhausted, carrying around all that weight. Brain fog, walking into rooms and trying to figure out why I came in here, not being able to concentrate. I have a very detail orientated career. I'm a kitchen designer. I have to know numbers. I have to know design, and it's very complicated at times. And I was really struggling. So now, this is what I really want to say. The best thing happened to me in December of 2024. You don't want to know what that is? I went to the doctor, they did my blood work, and my doctor says, okay, Arlie, you're now a type 2 diabetic. And you might think that's the worst thing, but I'm telling you, that was my wake up call. And she wanted to give me a prescription for medication. And I said, no, thank you. You need to give me 6 months. Just give me some time where I can do the deep dive and study and figure out how everybody else has been able to reverse this naturally, because I have it in my own family. My own daughter, by the time she was 5, was diagnosed with fatty liver and high insulin resistance. And she became a type 2 by the time she was 12. So I'd seen her suffer on these medications. They made her sick. She would throw up all the time. We were constantly trying to get her off of them, but her A1C just kept climbing. So I said, I have to figure this out. I began to pray about it, literally on my knees. And on the night of February 14th, 2025, I was praying with my son before bed, asking the Lord to show me the answer. And the very next morning online, I heard a doctor talking about this natural protocol that we're going to get into today. And I was like, are you kidding me? He's talking about reversing type 2 diabetes, obesity. And those are the two that I had. And I said, if this is working for all these other people, then it's got to work for me. So I started, and I lost a pound a day for the first 5 days. I couldn't believe it. Jenny was part of my health journey in 2024, and she saw me gain and lose the same 6 pounds about 3 times. And I was so frustrated, but I kept it kept coming off. And by the time I went and got my A1C tested again after 90 days on this protocol, my A1C went from 6.1 down to 5.0. I was no longer considered a type 2 diabetic. My triglycerides also came down by 56%. And by that point, I had lost 22 pounds. I'd gone from like a size 10 to a size 6. And then over the course of the rest of the year, I've lost a total of 32 pounds. And not only that, but my energy is back. Like I could star in the movie how Arlie got her groove back, because I honestly feel like I felt when I was in my early 30s. Like I'm talking 25 years feels like it's been lifted off of me.
Mm.
And I'll leave you with this. I had a Valentine's Day party on Saturday. I had 30 people over. Okay. I was on fire. Like I had tons of energy. And all of these younger women who were in their early 40s were like, where do you get your energy from? And I'm like, guys, it wasn't always like this, but it's because of what we're about to share with you tonight.
Mm.
Thank you.
That's amazing, Arlie. And I think there's so much packed in your story, you know, with your daughter, with the struggle there, with your health, being the older mom, and you being willing to say, no, I want to figure this out. I know my body was created to heal.
Yes.
You know, we've heard it said often, diet and lifestyle got me into this. Diet and lifestyle can get me out of it. And I think as we look at women's health, and there is a place and a time for extra support, whether that's hormone therapy or, you know, medication, whatever it is. But we want to encourage you tonight to put your body first. Give your body that fighting chance first. Make that educated decision first. See what your body can do, because your body is fearfully and wonderfully made. Your body was designed to heal. You know, I often think one of my sons broke both of his arms 2 different times when he was like 4 and 5 by doing it the same way. And I knew the scream when it happened. He fell off the back of the couch. And I'm like, I told you how many times not to do that. You know, it's like we just want to say, I told you. But those bones healed. Those bones mended back. You know, you cut your finger, your body goes to healing itself. Our body was created to heal. And as we go through these stages in life, whether it's, you know, starting our periods or, you know, the different seasons, perimenopause, postmenopause, menopause, our body was designed to go through that. So how can we go through that well and then not completely take our legs out from under us? And that's what we're talking about. I feel like that's what we found that, I don't want to call it the easy button, but it is kind of that easy. It's that easy solution, guys, that we can just take this, drink it, and it works. It works. I don't necessarily like the word magic, but it works in our body. It does the work. Okay. Molly, do you want to share next?
I would love to. Arlie, thank you so much. It was such a powerful story. I really appreciate you just sharing it with us. And hopefully people who are listening find hope in your story as they identify, oh, I am going through that, or I know so-and-so who's going through that as well. Because that's really why we're on here, is just to share our stories so people don't feel like they're alone in what they're going through. And I had the blessing of the beginning of this year, my husband had his blood work done and his triglycerides were high. He's also on blood pressure medication, and he probably, you know, could go on cholesterol medication if that was something that, you know, we believed would be a good solution for him. But so the blessing in that is it just opened my eyes to, you know what? We need to look for something else. So for me, and being in my postmenopausal years, with as busy as my life is with my job and, you know, my daughter who's 15 and a half now, and she's in sports and teaching her to drive and all the different things that we do to keep up with being a mom and a wife, I was just feeling very run down and tired. And, you know, I've pretty much been up and down the scale for the last 20, 30 years, the same 15 pounds. And although I have that range of 15 pounds now postmenopausal, I'm staying up on that high end of that 15-pound range, and it's getting so much more difficult to take it off and keep it off. So those were really the things that were eye openers for me. And I am so grateful in the very short time that I've been on this protocol. My energy has increased significantly. And, it's so funny how when you feel great, it just overflows. My husband, he'll ask, "Well, how are you feeling?" I'm like, "I feel great." It just feels so good. And I had recently come back from Fort Lauderdale, and I did not get a lot of sleep. And I think I maybe slept 4 hours, and I was up and running and off on my day. And my husband was looking at me. He's like, "I don't know how you have so much energy." And so I'm so grateful for the additional energy that I've been experiencing. I do believe that my gut is healing. I've struggled with constipation for most of my adult life, and that is healing. That's working itself out. And the other thing is I've already lost 5 pounds, and I'm just looking forward to not only the healing that's going on within my body, but then also seeing what's going on in my husband's body. I have had my blood work done, and I'll say to ladies out there, my doctor has already reached out that he's concerned that my LDL is high. Of all of my biomarkers, my LDL is high. And that doesn't surprise me at all, though, because in postmenopause, as your estrogen is going down, it is common for your LDL to increase. So I'm looking forward again just to see how just this new way of well, one thing I didn't mention, ladies, too, is that I've practiced intermittent fasting for years. And so I really felt like that's all I needed to do is just continue to intermittent fast. It wasn't until I've heard already 5 different stories from doctors who practice intermittent fasting that this protocol has made it such a huge difference in their health. Their A1C numbers have gone down. They've lost weight. They've kept that weight off, and so it's just, even if you're out there and you're intermittent fasting, I just want to encourage you to give this a try because the tea and the fiber really are instrumental at improving our health. So thank you, ladies, for allowing me to share.
That's beautiful, Molly, and I'm so glad that, you're part of our community now. And you're right. When we get those labs, and that's one of the beautiful things, our company encourages you, go get your lab work done. We want to have that 90-day comparison. We can even get you an A1C test kit that comes straight to your home so that we can have those numbers because your lab work changes. My husband's triglycerides dropped 51 points in 3 weeks, which was huge. We weren't expecting that. We had our labs drawn, and then he had a follow-up doctor's appointment and 51 points in 3 weeks. And it's like, oh my goodness, how, we were honestly blown away. So we know that it works. Guys, I'm going to show you real quick what we're talking about. So this is our solution. It's a simple solution. It's a tea and a fiber. So you get these little packets. You're going to get a yellow one, or you might maybe do the raspberry, and then you're going to get berry or orange for your fiber. So it's 2 different plant-based protocols. So it's simple. You drink it. I say to people, I'm going to be drinking stuff all day long anyway. So why not drink something that I know is adding more good back to my body? So this is our solution. It's got 20 clinical research studies and plus and counting. It is HSA and FSA qualified. We have people that come in and use those health savings accounts to purchase it, which is beautiful. And hold on here. Let me get Arlie back. It is a nutraceutical. So instead of a pharmaceutical, this is a nutraceutical. It's plants. And I love that. And I've always loved plants, but it's plants. It's giving us the food that we don't get on a daily basis. It's adding that back into our body. We're actually in 63 countries. It is patented, so it cannot be copied. And it is guaranteed. And I love the fact that it's guaranteed. And what I mean by that, when you say, hey, I want to give this a try. I don't know why I'm losing people. I want to give this a try. I want to see what this will do in my body. You've got 90 days. We ask that you give it a good 90-day trial, okay? And if you're like me, I was looking at my calendar, but there is no way I would want to give up the results that I seen in 90 days and go back to where I was. Because if you look at where I was, oh my goodness, I was a wreck. I was inflamed. I'll show you the pictures in a minute.
I
But
can hear
it's
now.
simple, okay? It's a little over $5 a day. We're going to encourage you to move your breakfast out. I couldn't fast when I started this. My husband
Is
actually,
Are we not able to hear
he had some
Andrea?
issues going on in December before we started this in February of 2025. And he had said, "Hey, why don't we fast?" I'm like, I can't.
Can
I
anybody hear
wake
me?
up starving. It's not going to happen. I can't do it. And when this
I
protocol
can't hear
came
her.
on
I
and
can
I
hear her on
started just
Facebook.
sipping on the tea, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not hungry because it lowers your food noise. It increases your GLP-1
I can hear you,
naturally.
Arlie.
And guys, I just did a big
Okay. I don't want
had
to
a class
overtake
this
this.
past weekend
It's
on
okay. Let her keep
peptides.
going.
And our body makes all of these peptides. It's just our food system, our stress, our toxicity has lowered those peptides within our body. So we are increasing those peptides with this protocol. It's just phenomenal. And then you're going to you're going to sip on your tea throughout the day, all day long. I have one of these with me constantly. I love it. I sip it. This one's hot. You can do it hot or cold. Then your fiber you're going to take before your largest meal. Some people take them with every meal. That's what we personally do. And we are actually in a extended fast right now because some of us wanted to do that. So I just had a fiber today and my tea. So what this does is this helps lower that food noise. It helps keep that glucose spike, that insulin spike low. Every time we eat, your body spikes glucose. It's supposed to. That's the way it was created. When it does that, it spikes insulin. And this helps lower that food noise. Are you guys having a hard time staying on? Am I kicking you off? I sure hope not.
No, you're doing fine. Keep going.
So guys, this is our competition. And I say that word, it's not really competition, okay? We are a nutraceutical, but we want people to know that there are options with, you just don't have to go the pharmaceutical route, like Molly mentioned. So statins, many people go on a statin because they have high cholesterol, high triglycerides, the LDL. This will help lower those numbers naturally. And we need cholesterol. Every cell in your body needs cholesterol. Your hormones need cholesterol. And ladies, if you get put on a statin medication, you are twice as likely to become a type 2 diabetic. Okay. You need to know that, especially as you go through the menopause years. And then that just sets you up for another set of risk factors. Okay. Cardiovascular risk factor. So metformin, this works just as well, if not better than metformin. Ozempic, and you heard Arlie's story with that. Ozempic, we've got the GLP-1 agonists, the shots out there. This works like a natural Ozempic in your body. We have people that are even taking Ozempic, Wegovy, some of those shots. They start on this too. Why? Because then they can easily wean off of that without, what do I want to say? Without as many side effects as they might have before. Because ladies, I want to encourage you. I don't want to make you mad, and I'm not getting on a bandwagon. Go do your research, okay? I just about died because I didn't do my research. With one, when I was in the hospital having a baby, and two, when I just about had an anaphylactic reaction to a medication. Do your research. Look at the side effects. If you just go to the websites. I encourage you to be like that 3-year-old and ask yourself, why is my body struggling? Why am I struggling with joint pain? Why am I struggling with brain fog? Why am I struggling with the extra belly? I've got a photo, and I need to post it because I look like I was 5 months pregnant. I would stay bloated all the time, okay? It was awful. Not anymore, thank God. But it's reality of what we deal with, and it's not willpower. It is not willpower, okay? It's our metabolic dysfunction that's happening because of ultra-processed foods, stress, toxins, and we're going to help you get through that. And some people turn to bariatric surgery. I understand that. When you are looking for answers, and your physicians, bless their heart, they're taught, we're going to fix the symptom. We're going to help you get to the root cause of the symptom, okay? As somebody that's in the health and wellness space, as a functional medicine nutritionist, and metabolic specialist. I'm going to help you figure out what's going on, how we can unmask it. We want to get rid of it. We want to fix it because we want to age well. We want to live well. Okay. So you've got Unamate, which is a tea, and balance. We're going to add in there time-based eating. We're going to help you with that. We're going to show you exactly what to do. Move your breakfast out. Some people, that can take a little bit of time, and that's okay. That's just it. We're going to start the process, and we're going to help your body to heal. So we have a solution. You are looking for a solution. You're looking for a system. We have it. It's the easiest thing ever. And I want you to hear some more stories, because the stories, that's what changed. When I heard the story of what happened with somebody that I knew, I was like, oh my goodness, what if that could be me? What if that could be, I've still got my vision board up here from 2025. Me wearing a bathing suit that I felt comfortable in. I just moved south. I wanted to be able to have a bathing suit on, but I wasn't comfortable at that stage. And I'm so thankful that I am comfortable now to feel well, to be able to walk around the block, because I have a foot injury that's healed. I had no expectation of that. I didn't even know that was possible. But inflammation, sugar builds up in your joints, your ligaments, those injuries. If we can push that out, the body does miraculous things. Okay, I know I've talked a lot, so I apologize. All right, so we've had Jenny share. We've had Molly share. No, Jenny, you haven't shared yet, have you?
No.
No, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Jenny, will you come on and share your
Sure.
story with us? And I think you're muted. I don't hear you.
Okay, I'm not muted. I'm not muted. You can't. Can you hear me now?
See. Can anybody hear Jenny?
Can you hear me now?
I can't. So
It's
Jenny, maybe
weird.
go out and come back in. It worked
Yeah.
for me.
Okay.
Could you guys hear Jenny?
Yes.
I couldn't. So Andrea, why don't you bring her before and after up while we wait for her to come back on? Because she's had an amazing journey so far.
All right, give us a minute. We're going to do some troubleshooting here, looking at audio. What's going on with the audio? Okay, MacBook, speakers. Okay, can somebody say, are you guys there?
I'm here.
Okay, I can hear you now. I'm not sure what's up with this system, but last time we had issues. You guys could hear Jenny?
No, I
Yes.
couldn't.
Molly could, but Arlie couldn't. I don't even know. Okay, we're going to hopefully Jenny will be back, because you need to hear her story. As somebody who
Yes.
suffered with cancer, we know, and as a cancer coach, I know the struggle that people have gone through. Family members, had a 26-year-old cousin that passed away from it. And his dad, who was 42, and my grandfather. So it runs in our family, and this is another reason why good gut health matters. I couldn't digest protein for 57 years. Until I started this, I did not digest protein. I could not sit there. And I wondered why a little kid, I would sit for hours to eat my meat. My body was just not working well then. So it's amazing. So love it. Okay. Okay, Molly, you got to go. All
Yes.
right. Thank you, sweet
Thank
girl.
you.
Appreciate you. Bye. All right. Okay. So Corrine or Jennifer, do either one of you have to get off early, or can you stay on for a little bit? Does it matter?
I'm fine.
Wonder if they're
Staying
here
on.
or not.
Okay. Corrine, you go ahead and share your story. We'll let you go first then.
My story. Okay.
I should be
so,
okay for a little bit.
Okay.
I'm assuming that we're talking more about the whole menopause thing, right? Is that what or
Well,
is it just-
we're talking about that, and we're talking about just your story in general, because it all matters. Those
Yep.
hormones,
Okay.
they all play into insulin resistance or hormones, yeah.
Right.
And you being you share that.
So when I turned 40, it's kind of like my health went downhill real quick. I got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, which I knew that was going to happen because all of my aunts and uncles on both sides of my family and my parents were type 2 diabetics. So why wouldn't I expect that to be what's going to happen? So fast forwarding to the last 3 years ago, I got way out of whack. And I think it had a lot to do with going through menopause. I really did not have a good transition from premenopause to menopause. In fact, at one point they were talking about doing a hysterectomy because my hormones were so out of whack. But they got it under control and with hormones. And so, which that whole time I didn't really ever feel good. But anyway, now I am a type 1 diabetic because my during that menopause time, my A1C I couldn't get anything under control with my diabetes. And so then they did some further testing and found out that I'm actually a type 1, have the antibodies. So my pancreas was working about 45% of the time. So it was kind of, what do I want to say, transitional there. But yeah, so when fast forwarding to when George, which we all know and love, got me started on this protocol. And of course, I was very skeptical. I've tried many diets. I did keto diet for 18 months and lost like 65 pounds and then gained 30 of it back right away. Just yo-yoing all my life. And so anyway, the protocol has been wonderful. Since I'm now on an insulin pump, I can tell my insulin needs have absolutely decreased about 30% daily on my insulin. And doing the intermittent fasting, I thought everybody kept on saying, no, you're a type 1, you can't do intermittent fasting. Well, like even today, I did 23 hours of fasting and I did fine, just drinking my mate tea and had my chocolate mint brownie hot. I love that. It's like hot chocolate. I love it. And so I had that and it has done wonders for me. I can't tell you enough how I'm glad to be on this protocol. So.
And I don't know if I have a picture of you. If I don't, we need one on the screen up here. Do we have a picture?
You probably don't.
She's our Miss Bashful, so we've got
I'm very
we've got to get a
introverted.
picture of you up there. But yeah, so
I'll get you one. I will get you one. It's on my Facebook page, but
yeah,
I got some. But anyway,
but
I've lost 23 pounds, a lot more inches than 23 pounds, in my opinion. I'm down almost 2 sizes in clothes. Since I sew, I've been putting darts in my pants and stuff to keep them going. So,
wow.
Yeah.
I love
One of these days
that.
I'll buy some other clothes. That'll be my present to myself. So
Yeah, I love that. Now, let me ask you this. So, as a type 1 diabetic, you have definitely seen results that have helped you not need as much insulin. How do you feel like it's done with the hormones as you've gone through the menopause stages with the hot flashes and, the cravings and the night sweats and the not sleeping and just the roller coaster? Do you feel like you've seen a benefit there too?
Oh, yes. I used to have insomnia quite a bit, waking up at 2, 3 in the morning, almost all the time. I would wake up at night with leg cramps so bad that they hurt so bad that I would at times cry. I mean, it was just that bad. And I haven't had a leg cramp since 3 weeks after I started this stuff. So,
Wow.
and when I say leg, I'm talking more thigh and groin and up into the abdomen cramps, just crazy. So
Wow.
that
Mm.
stopped, and I'm not waking up as much at 2 or 3 in the morning. I'm still working on my I think the cortisol, my cortisol is still a little bit high, which I've only been on this for like 10 months, but I think I was really, really out of whack, and so I'm getting there. So
Mm. I love that. And your body, it's so resilient, and it goes, and you had a lot going against you, as far as you were a type 1 diabetic, and just
Yep.
everything else that was going on. And you had kind of done that yo-yo, it sounds like, with losing the weight and putting it back on, and then yeah. Well, we're so
definitely.
glad you're part of us. And guys, every lady that has been on here tonight has a special code to give you. If you say, hey, I need to know more about this, they want to work with you. They want to share with you all of the knowledge that they have and invite you into our community. So if you know one of them, please reach out, at least start the conversation and say, hey, what you were talking about tonight, can you just give me a little bit more information? Because we want you to be able to make an educated guess, or an educated choice, an educated decision. And that's what we feel like we've been able to do. So thank you so much for being on and
No
sharing with
problem.
us.
Thank you for
Jennifer?
having me.
Oh, absolutely. And please hang out if you want, go watch the comments on Facebook. I don't know what's happening over there because we can't do all of it. So, and guys, share this with somebody. We have women that are hurting. And we have younger women that are hurting. I'm going to share my story probably at the end, but I wish I'd have known in my 20s and 30s what I know now. I think it could have saved me from a lot of heartache. So our beautiful Jennifer, would you come on? And she lives in Florida, and we got to see her a couple weeks ago, and it was just so fun and gorgeous. Would you share with us your story, because you also have a story? Are you there? You might need to turn down
Yes, I will. And
that.
so
Okay.
I'm listening to you off of my other phone.
Okay.
So if there is a little bit of feedback, that's why.
Okay.
So I have to kind of like look at the other phone. That's why my head keeps going down.
You're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
Oh, technology. You gotta love it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm Jennifer.
That's why.
Oh, hang on, girl.
So I have to
Okay, I'm Jennifer. I'm 51, technology challenged at the moment. I was dealing with high cholesterol, insomnia, brain fog. And when I say brain fog, as a caregiver, that is a very scary thing and mode to be in. I was forgetting appointments for my parents, both who have cognitive decline, and I was putting them on the wrong weeks on the wrong days. Sadly, on Valentine's Day, my dad's younger brother passed away of dementia, and so there's a lot of heaviness with me today. Normally, I'm the girl who gets you going, but I'm feeling a little heavy today. So I am also on a 5-day metabolic reset, about 23 hours in, and water and one of my little sticks has been keeping me going all day. The thing that I noticed about myself over the years, I also was dealing with ovarian cysts. I had absolutely terrible, terrible irregular periods. My insomnia, actually, when I was thinking, when some of the other ladies were talking, my insomnia really started when I was a small child. I never could settle. I always had the lists. Well, what am I going to do tomorrow? What am I going to do today? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And of course, I was a snacker. I'm a carb girl, so I was all about eating the carbs, eating the snacks, and I did not know that my pancreas produced insulin that was spiking every time I ate something. Now, mind you, I just learned this last year in my golden year of 50. And I have more energy now than I did back in my 20s, which blows my mind because I was dealing with the spare tire due to my postmenopause. The fluctuation of weight, ladies, I so understand it. You know, I hot flashes, night sweats. Talk about being uncomfortable, and like you had mentioned, Andrea, I definitely did not want to go to the beach. I did not feel good in my skin. Very rare times did I ever do that with my daughter, and I would go and I'd feel insecure and I'd feel shameful. I didn't want people to see me. And you know, I've done a complete 180. And you know, the biggest thing for me is that I know why I walk into a room. I know where my keys are. I know where all of my parents' medications are. I know their schedule. Like that is so freeing to me because, you know, I was potentially headed down that direction. And, you know, that is terrifying. You know, I'm in a position to care for other people, literally in their home. And if my brain is all fogged up, there's no way that I can be the best version of myself. So this has absolutely been a game changer for me. You know, I suffered from arthritis and joint pain. Nobody wants to try to get out of bed when you feel yucky. And I don't have
Absolutely.
that anymore. I have more motivation and drive to go on walks with my little 14-year-old dog who takes 2 steps and stops. You know, and at the end of the day, for me, the community, I don't feel alone in working through my health struggles. You know, a lot of times people can't see what you're dealing with. You know, I had
True.
mouth sensitivity, I had tinnitus in my ears, you know, all those things you couldn't see, you know, and that's okay. And all of these ladies are encourage me every day to keep going, to keep trying, and to keep succeeding. So if there's anybody out there, I'm sure some of you have seen some of our little clips in our photos. 3 sticks a day, keep my blood sugar at bay.
I love that. And we're so sorry for your loss. So just know that we are lifting you and your family up in prayer because I know that's hard. And you're a caregiver, and that's, you know, that was your dad's uncle or your dad's brother. Is that who that was? Yeah, I'm so sorry. And guys, and that's just it. We see these, you know, dementia, Alzheimer's. We see these situations, and a lot of times it
My
has to
dad's
do
my
with
dad's younger brother.
your dad's younger brother. Yeah. A lot of times it has to do with things that we don't think we have. It's not about willpower. We don't think we have a choice, okay? And I understand the cravings. You know, that's one of the reasons doing this kind of extended fast to get rid of some of the cravings and help support my gut health because there's so many benefits to doing that, and that's all stuff that we teach in our community. But I know for my dad, and just as he's doing the tea and the fiber, I can see that it does help your brain health because you're creating the ketones, different things like that. Even though that's about all he's doing. I would love to see him doing some other things, but we saved his toe. So thank God for that. That's a whole nother story of a lot of times. Well, I'll just tell you the story. He had a wound on his toe, and we didn't even know that he had a wound. We were working on his toenails because he had a toe fungus. That's also a sign of insulin resistance. Okay, your skin tags, your dark patches on your neck, the brain fog, the hormone chaos. Went to the podiatrist. He had a toe wound that went clear to the bone. Their first suggestion was, we just need to remove the toe. They could have easily taken his toe. If I didn't know what I knew now, that would have been the route that we would have gone. We wouldn't have had any other hope, any other suggestion, any other idea of, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? But because God brought this into my life, when he did, I was like, nope, hold on. We got to change some other things first. And we did, got him on the tea and the fiber. He still likes his Honey Nut Cheerios, 2 to 3 bowls a day, which I would love to see that not be that much, because literally it can be like 17 teaspoons of sugar in 1 bowl. But it is what it is. He's 81, and thank God he's here, because I feel like that totally saved his life, saved his toe within months, completely healed, and they would have just removed it. And if you are unfortunate and have that happen, I can only imagine what else it does to the body. And guys, he didn't even know that he had that wound. This is what blows my mind too. He didn't even know that he had the wound. He had no pulse in that foot. The doctor is scraping out the wound, and I know that's gross. He didn't even know it. And probably a month, 6 weeks when we went back, the doctor's cleaning out the wound because he kept doing that. Dad could feel it. He got a pulse back, he got circulation back in that foot. So just imagine, what it can do. If it's doing that and you're experiencing it that quickly on the outside of the body, imagine what it's doing on the inside of the body. So, Jennifer, thank you so much for sharing your story. I so appreciate you just being real with us, because we all have those struggles. And does anybody else have anything that, as we were talking, that hey, this came to my mind, I want to share this, anything like that? Anybody else? I want to make sure to give you ladies the floor, because you're in this with other women, with us. Anybody
Well,
have anything?
I'd like to add something. I just want to talk to the woman who has heard about intermittent fasting before, and that they know the benefits of it.
Mhm.
So, for example, I tried to intermittent fast before many, many different times, but I would always cave in. Like by 10:30, I was getting hangry. I was getting irritable. My children were begging me to have something to eat already. Please, mom. Like that feeling where your blood sugar's low, that you're going to be getting a headache. And so I'd always just cave in, and I would just basically say, I know the benefits to my body's healing to give it a digestive rest for a longer period of time than just from, say, 8 o'clock last night until 8 o'clock in the morning. I knew that our bodies need more time than that. So when I started taking the yerba mate tea, which we've only just touched on, but this is a natural insulin sensitizer. So it makes your cells become more insulin sensitive, and it also helps regulate blood sugars. And it helps your gut increase more of the GLP-1 hormone, which is your satiation hormone. So once I started sipping this, I was easily, even from the very first day, to not even think about making breakfast until about 20 to 12. It takes me 20 minutes to cook that omelet. And by the time 12 o'clock came around, my lunch was ready, and I was just able to really enjoy it. So for those who have ever tried intermittent fasting like me and failed, I want you to know that this is like having a tool in your toolkit. Okay? I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that, Arlie. And, I was thinking there was another slide at the end, but there's not. We have another gal coming on, and her picture is right here. Miss Carla, if you are able to share, we would love to have you share too. And guys, there are resources out there. Fast Like a Girl is a great book by Dr. Mindy Pelz. Eat Like a Girl is another great book. Resources. There are things that we can do to support our hormones. And some of the things you want to do is you want to make sure as a woman that you're getting enough protein. That's a struggle for me. I struggle to get a gram of protein per pound of body weight that I want to be. It's always been a struggle. I am doing so much better because I can now digest it. And I think that's also helping my body to heal. And then not having the food noise. I felt like I was constantly starving. And I think that was because I was overfed and undernourished. My cells weren't nourished. My cells weren't replenishing at a healthy manner or in a healthy manner. And, and I don't know and I've never shared this, but a picture popped up a while back. And when you think of breast health, my breasts were two different sizes. And I know that was hormones going on. That's not the case anymore. And I'm so thankful that I don't have to worry about what could have been going on, on down the road with my breast health. So there are things that our body, it's just, we need to make sure we're filling in those gaps that we know we don't get on a daily basis. I'm not going to sit and eat 5 cups of broccoli, but this helps bridge that gap for that and helps balance the hormones, keep your cortisol low, keep your stress hormones low, and because of the gut-brain connection. And that's what we've seen. So, Miss Carla, will you share with us too?
Yes, of course I will. I was just getting
Okay,
ready for a
yeah.
live and I was like, oh, my girls are on. Let me support.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us your story.
Oh, I am a truck driver of 27 years. And in 2014, we buried my father due to complications of diabetes. And it runs very rampant in our family, but I had gotten to be the oldest that didn't have it. So I thought that I wouldn't get it. And I guess I thought wrong. And I was just, your average truck driver that, not getting enough rest, eating all the trash down the highway, not moving my limbs, and it caught up with me. And so I was diagnosed pre-diabetic, basically metabolic syndrome, which I had never heard that term before, but I had sky high cholesterol. My blood pressure was climbing. I had pre-diabetes, a high A1C. I had a lot of fat on me, especially in the middle. And I just was exhausted all the time. And they put me on a bunch of meds. The metformin actually gave me liver damage because, you have to get your labs all the time. And it started climbing some enzymes that weren't supposed to be there. And I was like, done. I never asked any questions about what are these, how do the pills work? Is there an alternative? Do I have to be on them? Is there another way? I never asked I didn't even read the Walgreens bag. I just popped the pills like a good, compliant human being and didn't get a second opinion on what my regimen should be. I just remember what happened to my dad. And, looking back on it now, that was with all of the meds. He still declined. He never got better. And his quality of life, most importantly, was, I think, probably what sticks in my mind now is what the meds did was draw out the suffering. And looking back on it, the quality of life was not there, but the life was there, possibly due to the meds that he was on. But I would never want to live that way if I couldn't have a quality of life, And this has really opened my eyes to that because once I started getting the liver damage, I was like, oh, wait. I need to ask questions. I need to pay attention. I need to find something that's natural that can take the place of this metformin. And that's when I found Dr. Kenny. And I thought it was a hoax. I was like, yeah. Well, they're going to have to give me my money back because anything I've ever tried, any supplement to lose weight, any contraption, it never worked. And I never got my money back. Even when they said you can get your money back, just try. But I took the meds. I took the protocol. And 4 days later, I was calling him saying, what magician made this potion? I need to know. And
wow,
he said,
I love that.
He was like, what's going on? I said, I went in the truck stop to brush my teeth and I looked in the mirror and I didn't recognize myself. It's only been 4 days and I can feel the bones in my face again.
Wow.
He says, oh, that's the inflammation leaving your body. I said, but my arms are slimmer. I don't have the anti-arms I had when I went to bed. I don't understand this. And he was like, oh, you're in for a ride. And he was so true. It was so true. So I lost, at this point, I'm 49 pounds down. And it's been, let's see, I started the protocol August 1st, basically. So I'm just
I
so
have your
excited.
picture up here too. So I don't know if you can see it, but guys,
Yeah,
she's just beautiful. And she was
thank you.
beautiful before, but now, man, she's got this bod that
I'm shining. That's right.
yeah, it's amazing how our body wants to heal, you know, and so many times we just don't know what we don't know. Just like you know, hey, just give me the pills. And I would have been that way too if I wouldn't have had some major reactions to medication and struggled with that. It's just what you do, you know. But we're learning to look at lifestyle and food, and as we do that, and as we age, we have to, or we're going to end up on all of the medication and the pills, just
Yeah.
trying to survive, but not really, kind of like you said with your dad, it was a struggle.
Right. And I just knew that that was my future. And it was a hard pill to swallow, you know, it's kind of in
Mhm.
denial, but actually, you know, broke down a little bit earlier today, I think it was. Just realizing that you know, I have a future now. It doesn't have to be wrapped up in sickness and struggles. And what's really amazing to me is that I did not change my diet. I'm in a hotel right now. My truck's outside. I'm still over the road truck driver. I still eat at the same places. There's not been magically some kind of nice restaurant or diner that they all of a sudden put in the truck stops. They actually took them all out and replaced them with fast food joints. So just good luck trying to get some fiber at all. And you can get like sometimes some fresh cut up fruit in the truck stop, but me being prone to high blood sugar, that's, you know, that's not what I can do. So I just was amazed that I'm still eating pizzas, fried burritos, egg rolls, chicken nuggets, chicken wings, you know, all this fried food and stuff. And when I go home, I can eat better. But I think the best part is that my food bill has went from about $40 a day down to somewhere between $7 to $13.
Wow. And we hear it all the time. Everybody saves money because we get rid of those cravings. So obviously you're not eating all of the junk that you would have been eating. It sounds like you've been able to cut that out.
I'm saving myself because now I don't like my average day would be start off with a coffee from the truck stop, which by the way now is $3.88 for a large. And it is not premium coffee, it's truck stop coffee. And I have an axe to grind with that, you know, at least let it be quality. But then there's a McDonald's in there and I'll have like a number 2. And I was eating a lot earlier too. So it would typically the sun wouldn't be up yet because I'm usually working before the sun comes up. And then I get my gas, I get my coffee, and then I go in the McDonald's or whatever and I get the number 2, the breakfast sausage on the muffin with the greasy hash brown and, you know, all of that. So, I would get 2 hash browns because I wanted the double cholesterol. But I'm spending like $14 for breakfast because it's a truck stop, and then almost $4 for coffee. And then for lunch, my average lunch would be 2 slices of pizza. That right now is like $8. And then like for dinner or whatever, it would be like the Wendy's or the Arby's or something like that. So it's just when I think back to all that I was eating, not just that, my snacks would cost about $8 or $9. I would have to get the cold brew M&Ms because they were so good. Those chemicals were just addictive in there. I look at
And they
everything
are,
different
Carla.
now. Yeah.
And you know what you feed your body, it craves.
Mhm.
So, and you've been able to switch that metabolic switch.
Yeah,
And
this is
it's
my
only
new addiction. This is my new snack, my M&Ms, and it's practically free.
Yeah, exactly. And it's adding years to your life and life to your years, like it is so many of us. And guys, we hear this every day. We hear stories every day because we're on calls every day with our community. It's just absolutely amazing. The stories that we hear. And we have, I think, a microbiologist tomorrow night that's doing a science call. We have a science call every week with a physician, somebody that's on sharing the science behind the system, because we have over 20 clinical studies. Cleveland Clinic has said, hey, if we could just get a community of people on this, we know we could lower the need for statin lowering medication. And we have to have cholesterol. So, but there's a balance there with our triglycerides, our HDL. There is a risk factor. We can go over that with you. So, if you know anybody that was on this call tonight, oh, I think I lost Carla. If you know anybody that was on this call tonight, Carla, thank you so much for sharing, sweet girl. Just, we have an amazing community. And so if you know anybody that was, oh, there she is. If you
Sorry.
know I was just thanking you for sharing. If you know anybody that was on this call tonight, if you heard their story and you resonated with them, reach out to them. They have a discount code. And I'm going to show you, this is our friend Claudia too. And in her 30s, guys, she had a blood clot in her lungs. She's very fortunate to be here. Let's just say that. And she's got young
Yes.
children. And this protocol has totally changed her life too, and her husband's life. Just, we have story after story. This is Dr. Andrina. This is me. You can see the inflammation in my face. And that's Carla. You mentioned the inflammation gone in like 4 days. I mean, I had no neck. I had no definition. I had inflammation all over my body. I had no idea how bad I felt till I started actually feeling good. Foot injury healed, down over 40 pounds now, 15 inches, just hormones
Awesome.
balanced. Used to be my husband would just lay his hand on me and I would go into a hot flash, just laying his hand on me and like, oh my God, I can't do this. This is awful. No more. Those hormones come into balance.
Oh yeah,
And
that was
your
hell
body,
for
it's a
me.
beautiful thing. Here's Jennifer. Oh, I didn't realize when she told her story, I should have had her picture up. This is Jennifer, who you were seeing. This is Vicky, one of our type 1 diabetics. Just amazing. She's been able to get off over 60% of her insulin as a type 1. And this is, okay, I'm drawing a blank. Help
Lori.
me. Why am I drawing
It's
a
Lori.
blank? This is Lori. She's one of our Canada girls. Guys, you can just see the difference. This is Kim. She was our autoimmune nightmare. Arlie, you heard her story. This is Angie Young. Thyroid issues, hair wouldn't grow, number of different things. The weight has come off, the energy's there, just life-changing for all of us. And guys, it's not just for us women, it's also for our men. You can see some men on this photo. So we want to connect with you. We want to help you save your life, change your life. And that's truly what we feel like we're doing. So thank you for joining us tonight. Being a part, go back and share this with somebody. Start a conversation with one of these women because they're here to serve you. They're here to help. They're here to help you take your health back, reclaim your life, because we've got a lot of work to do to make this world a happy place again. And part of that starts with our gut-brain connection, and the ultra-processed food, the toxins, the stress, that is destroying that. And Carla, would you say, and I'm going to say too, this little tea has helped rebuild that? It's given us our happy hormones back, right?
It's, you know what? It's done more than that
You're
because,
muted.
oh, okay. I'm sorry. Am I still muted? Can you hear me?
I can't.
Can't hear me.
Nope, I can't hear you.
Okay, sorry.
Let's see if she can come back on. Are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me now?
Oh, I'm not sure what is up with this sound. I apologize. Just give me a thumbs up if your happy hormones, you feel like your hormones are back. Yeah, the happy hormones, guys, that serotonin, that dopamine, that sleep, all of it. And her life is stressful. She drives a truck. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine trying. I do get enough to park my car. I can't imagine trying to park a semi like she does. So anyway, guys, thank you for joining us. We have a science call tomorrow night. If you want more information, just reach out. If you want to say, hey, send me the link. We want to be able to share with you the discount that we get. We want to share with you this community because we want you to be whole. We want you to live well. We want you to live long and prosperous. Carla, are you there, girlfriend?
Can you hear me now?
I can't. I cannot hear you. I don't know. There's
I don't
something in
know.
this
That's
system.
crazy.
So try to figure it out. I apologize.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Hugs, my friend. Hugs to all the ladies that shared tonight. And know you're valuable.
Thank
You are made
you.
for more. Your body was created to heal. Let's give it what it needs. Let's fill in that gap. All right. God bless, guys. Good night. Bye bye.